Shalom, people. This is your brother Wasilkamilbey coming at you. Sham, stopping the bullshit before it starts. It's approximately 3:56 in the morning. Here to do this video. It's ain't a sovereign citizen movement. You know, anti-government. Any negativity, this is positivity. You know, and if you're gonna fight with your brain, not with your hands. You know, don't be harming nobody and causing no injury to nobody. You good. But we finna talk about custodial accounts. What is a custodial account? What is a custodial parent? Let me roll this beautiful footage.
Thanks. Our first question comes from Jim of Boston, Massachusetts. Can an adult take the money they put in back out of a custodial account if need be? Well, if Jim had listened to our conversation just a few seconds ago, he would know that you can't, right, Jordan? That's what you just told us.
I mean, legally you can. This becomes a little bit of a gray line issue because in some cases someone will say, look, a custodial account, I'm allowed to use this money in the best interest of the child. So if I decide that taking money out and putting it in a different type...
Did you hear that? The best interest of the child. Now, where you go to, they say they want the best interest of the child.
If the account is in their best interest, can that be done? The law in different states is weighed down in different ways.
But do you have to prove that in court? Do you have to get documents showing exactly...
You heard her? Do you have to prove that in court? Huh? What have y'all been learning?
So the child can challenge, you know what, this money was not used in my best interest, and then it can go to court. But custodial accounts are operated on a state-by-state level, so they really do recommend be very...
Did you hear that? State level. Huh?
Very careful with this sort of thing, but it's not a clear line. In some cases, it can be done.
So Jim might want to check with his state, make sure that he understands exactly how it works there, because it can differ significantly, or
so long as you believe you're doing it in the best interest of the child.
Right.
You can't say, you know what, I gave you this money, now you're grounded, I'm taking it back again. That's a no-go.
What about I gave you this money and you know what, the whole family is now facing some financial difficulty?
Yeah, that's also a no-go. This is now the child's money and needs to be used for their best interest.
All right, all very important things to keep in mind then before opening that account. The next question comes from Sarah of Providence, Rhode Island. What rights does a minor have when it comes to the handling of their money in a custodial account? Interesting. You said at 14 they can start viewing the account.
Yeah, so at 14 you have the right to know how every dollar is being spent in that account, and if you do feel that money's not being spent in your best interest,
Fellas, if you got a 14-year-old, have they came back and said they mama giving them money? Huh?
happened instances where a child has taken the custodian to court and said, look, I don't believe that you're using this properly, and the court in some cases has ordered whoever the custodian is to pay that money back into the custodial account because it was not...
Who is the custodial? Huh? Who is the custodial? Come on, fellas, wake up.
Used well.
As young as 14, 15, they've taken their custodian to court?
They have. I mean, it's an iffy issue because you don't want to be a 14-year-old who gets in a fight with mom and says, I'm going to sue you. If the mom is using it in their best...
If the who?
interest, but the child is too young to realize it at that point.
Right. Yeah, chances are if you argue with mom at 14, you might not win that one, but you never know. You never know. All right. Evan from New York writes, can you transfer money from a custodial account into a trust? That's a good question.
Yeah, this goes back to kind of the first question that we answered, which is, if you do believe it's in the best interest that a trust at some point in time is a better structure, you can try to transfer it and make that case. I would just recommend consulting with legal counsel that's well-versed in your particular state law.
But let's...
Did you hear that? Man.
say, because you said earlier that a trust is better when you're dealing with very large sums of money. Let's say you suddenly have a windfall for whatever reason and you want to increase the amount of money that you're leaving for your child. So therefore you want to take the custodial account, sort of dissolve it and move it into the trust. Would that be easy to do?
It's the same gray line, but that's the issue that comes up most often, that the money in the custodial account starts reaching a limit where, you know, they say a trust would be better served here.
Is there a significant difference for the parents in terms of taxes and income tax.
No, for both a custodial account and a trust, they're very, very similar when it
Okay.
comes to tax purposes.
Okay, all right. That's all very important. All right. Here's Sarah from Austin, Texas. She writes in asking, how does a custodial account differ from a 529 plan? We went over some of those differences before, but perhaps you can elaborate.
Two big ones that I would mention. One is you don't have ability to access your money when it's a 529 plan. One is in a 529 plan, you're giving your money over to a...
All right. See, I went over my limit. It's 5 minutes. Let me show y'all. Break this shit down. You know what I'm saying? And if you got virgin ears, this channel ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? And if you emotional, this channel ain't for you. Look at that. Okay? See that? Alright, I'm gonna show you and my other baby. See? What that say right there? Minors, they mean minorities. Okay? You fellas need to stop being minorities. Start being a man. Be responsible. The kiddo tax, I mean. Subject to indexing. There go that subject word. What paperwork I'm talking about, people. This is your brother Wasilkamilbey. This ain't legal advice. But if you got any questions, you need consultation, hit us up, wasilkamilbey@gmail.com, walkingEmpire@gmail.com. Ain't nobody really doing this what we doing. I hear Sham Stoppers. You know, we go deep into the core. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, subscribe, get at us. Peace.